Okay, cool.
What's up, guys? Are we on?
We're on.
We're on. What's going on, Ross? How you doing?
Good, Antoine. This is our first episode of Alpha Geek, y'all.
Yes, first episode. I don't know why I started it like a radio show. Like, hey, how you doing? My name is Antoine Britt. Yes, the first episode of Alpha Geek. So Alpha Geek is something I've been wanting to do for a while. It's kind of a mix between all of geekdom, from cars to comic books, from movies to video games, from pro wrestling. And of course, we're going to try to condense it a little bit so we are not all over the place, but give every fan of geekdom the opportunity to listen to what we have to say about that respective geekdom. So,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I know something we've been talking about for a while, so I'm ready to get right into it. The podcast is a really great way for people across the board to appreciate other people's geekdom. You know, like, I love just about everything. Yeah, I love comic books, movies, video games. I know you're a huge gamer.
Huge gamer,
But then we have some geekdom that we're not as versed on, i.e. wrestling maybe, or Dungeons & Dragons, Star Wars, whatever it may be. And so we're going to look to the audience to kind of help us further delve into some of those things that we're not necessarily so versed on. So the basic format of every podcast, we're going to keep it really loosey-goosey. We're going to touch on a whip of the day, which I'm super passionate about. I'm a huge car nut. I love cars from the time I was a baby. My dad used to take me on the back of his Harley, and I burned my leg on his
the exhaust
on his exhaust pipe a number of times. Didn't care, and he kind of instilled that in me, cars, and so I've built a number of cars throughout my adulthood, and I want to really focus on some cars, some stuff that we know and people are already fans of, like the Demons and the Vipers, and the Hellcats and stuff like that. But there's some stuff that might be coming later, so we're gonna touch on one of those cars today, and we're gonna touch on the Aquaman trailer.
Yeah,
the trailer came out yesterday. A lot of people are excited about it.
Yep.
I'm on the fence about it.
Yeah.
You based on past experience, but I'm an optimist, and I always like to give the DCE or DCU now and Marvel give them the opportunity to perform and to deliver what we as fans expect them to deliver. So that's my official introduction to Ross. You want to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am a fan of pretty much everything from movies. Like, I can totally nerd out about Goonies and like 80s movies. 80s was my biggest thing. Yeah, but definitely cars. Like, I've always been to like classic cars. My favorite thing is like classic pickups. I always love pickups. And of course, one of the things that you experienced not too long ago was dancing, and I am a professional dancer by trade that also is a gamer by night, guitar builder. We try to do some gardening stuff, me and my wife. So but I'm excited to kind of explore, and also the cool thing about this is that I'm also going to learn a little bit more about what Antoine's excited about, and hopefully I'll be able to share some exciting stuff that I'm motivated by. Like, Star Wars is one of the big things, and I have some Star Wars stuff I'll probably bring out and showcase a little bit in future episodes. But
I had no idea that you built. I saw your post of you playing, and you build your guitars.
Yeah, I'm building 2 of them right now, but I haven't actually built one yet. So it's new.
Wow. That's crazy, because when I looked at the post, I was like, man, this dude does everything. Like, holy shit. Like, and if you're not from the Hampton Roads area, Virginia Beach area, Arthur Murray's a huge presence here in Hampton Roads as it pertains to dance, obviously. I came here, me and Jamie came, obviously, to learn how to dance for the wedding, and I got suckered into doing the local Dances with the Stars things that ended up winning, thanks to you guys.
Yeah, man.
And contrary to what people think, every black man cannot dance. That was not the case, dude. You got 2 left feet, And I came in and just kind of just embraced the process, and it was wonderful. And no dance experience, or just seriously, no dance experience. Never jumped on the dance floor in any capacity. Yeah. And I ended up winning. So So you could probably click on the description below. We're going to put a link to that YouTube performance of his winning dance with the Hampton Roads Celebrity Stars. But be gentle, because I was really nervous. I was thinking about having a shot in the back.
That's right. Yeah.
And then I just thought about it. I was like, man, 2 left feet, tequila, probably not going to mix. So I'm just going to deal with the nerves.
Yeah.
It was an awesome experience. If you've never tried it, try it. It's a lot of fun. It takes you out of your comfort zone. One of those, checklist things that will just make you feel like great. Yeah. You come in, you accomplish something, and it is a really good feeling. It gives you the opportunity to be competitive, with yourself, if no one else. So it was a cool experience.
Yeah. Cool. Well, another thing that you may notice when you look at Antoine, or when you hear his passion or whatever, he's also a former UFC fighter, pro boxer, and as we're kind of Wendy and I are training with him right now, and I'm definitely feeling sore today, so trying to enhance some of our boxing skills. But speaking of performing, today we're we want to kind of touch on the Aquaman trailer, right? That was the big thing.
Absolutely, we've been waiting. So the DCU now, it's not the DCEU anymore, it's the DCU, has been waiting for this Aquaman trailer. The Aquaman 2 trailer is kind of the end of what we know as the DCEU. We just had Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle performed pretty well.
Yeah.
A lot of people are surprised about Blue Beetle because he's not a really deep character when it comes to the source material. Mm-hmm. And so for him to have such a strong opening weekend, and I love Blue Beetle. I'm reading the comics, and from the Young Justice series, animated stuff. But on the side note, DC animated stuff is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's really good. And I feel like if they just took from the source material, created these animated movies, they can do the same thing with live action. But that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah.
But the Aquaman trailer did come out. We just watched it together. I watched it twice yesterday. It came out last night. I watched it again this morning. We just watched it together. So just initial thoughts on the trailer.
Okay, so my initial thoughts. I'm excited about Aquaman because Jason Momoa is super cool as Aquaman. Like, that was a great casting choice, and the first one he nailed it. Right. So my only thing first watching it, because I just came off of watching Flash, and I was super disappointed with that, and we could talk about that some other time, but I was concerned about the CG and that it was going to be overly done, and so I was pleasantly surprised that it looked good, because Flash was so bad. So I was like, oh man, are they going to really jack this one up? So
the CG is James Wan is when you talk about CG movies and how much CG and how he kind of manipulates CG to tell the best story. I mean, there's no one like James, and so for him to be able to do it again with Aquaman 2, based on the trailer, it looks fantastic. Now, we've been in situations where the trailer looks one way, and then when the movie comes out, it looks a totally different way. So, but the first Aquaman was very visually stimulating. People loved it. It was kind of like Avatar meets underwater water world. I don't know. It was great. So if there's no problems with the CG, I know a lot of studios, because of strikes and budgeting, they've been trying to cram so many jobs and trying to do CG for so many different projects that it's so watered down that none of them are really looking great. We saw the same issue with She-Hulk on Disney Plus. Obviously, the Flash movie, we saw it with that. Even a couple things in Blue Beetle, the CG was kind of wonky.
Oh, really? Okay.
Luckily, the story was so great that people were, able to overlook it.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. I feel almost embarrassed to say this. I didn't even know Blue Beetle came out, but I did watch. Yeah, I know. I did watch that trailer, and dude, I could totally go bananas about that because the actor that plays Blue Beetle is also in Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Freaking great show.
Awesome.
So I cannot wait to talk to you about Cobra Kai stuff. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, they got one more season of that.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome.
But yeah, I was watching that and like paying attention to the CGI about that. And then, but you just brought up Avatar, and like as I was watching the preview of Aquaman, it totally made me think of Avatar, like the new Avatar, because it was all like water, and so I wonder, like, was there any, how sometimes like you get like when movies come out, like a bunch of the same movies come out, like similar, like so there was like when John Wick came out, there was like a bunch of like movies that were like John Wick-ish.
Follow that.
Yeah. So
print.
Yeah. So I wonder if like, did Avatar do that? I don't know, because James Cameron, that was like what, 20 years?
It was. Well, when the first Aquaman came out, there were a lot of comparisons with Avatar. It was.
Oh, there was.
Like,
okay.
It was like Avatar meets amusement park. You put it together.
Yeah.
You have Aquaman. So. I think just from color scheme and from like just like visuals and the way that Juan puts things together, if it's consistent with the first one, I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
We saw that the majority of the cast is returning. The Orm character is returning. And of course, Amber Heard. I don't even know if I should say her name.
You're gonna get blocked.
Amber Heard is returning. They've already reported that she will be back for the movie before the trailer came out, and an abbreviated version of what her role was.
Yeah.
Obviously, you see that Jason Momoa's character is a father now, so there was some baby making in there.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very interested to see how much of the movie she's in, because I feel like if she's in the movie, just put her in the movie.
Yeah.
If you decide to say, hey, there's too much legal bullshit going on with her, let's go ahead and take her out, or we hope people forget over time and just leave her in.
Yeah.
Don't abbreviate it, take her out or leave her in, you know, whatever. Because I did enjoy, a lot of people hated her performance in the original. They thought that her performance kind of brought Momoa's performance down a little bit. I liked her in the first one. I thought it was a great dynamic between the two, but it's gonna be hard to tell until we see how much she's actually in the film. Okay,
so what did you like about her character? That was it. How she looks, how she actually acted. Come on.
My answer crazy. There's no mistaking that Amber Heard is a very attractive lady. Right? We get it.
Yeah.
But I also thought that the character of Mira, and her being like a second to Aquaman, the Queen of Atlantis, inevitably becoming the Queen of Atlantis, I think that she did a really good job of playing almost like that Tonto Talong Ranger role. Oh, yeah. You know, and just not really trying to overshadow, but really playing her part well. Mm-hmm. Of course, her being, having the magic component in her character, I thought it was a huge benefit to Momoa's character, who was really at the time just trying to learn what to and what not to do. Yeah. So I did think the dynamic between the two was great in the first movie. And, and people have been talking, even before the whole Johnny Depp thing, people have been talking pros and cons with Amber Heard for a while now. So she's been on the borderline of of being canceled. So but I enjoyed her in the first movie.
Did you hear that she's supposedly in Spain or something, like with her? Does she have a daughter? Oh, like she changed her name. She's like somebody saw her in a small town in Spain with somebody's daughter with a friend, and like people are like, oh, she's trying to get out of the country. Like in like when this movie comes out, people are like, oh, Amber Heard. I mean, they got a Netflix special now too, right?
Yeah, they do. Wouldn't you though?
Yeah, right.
You took a shit in a grown man. A grown woman took a shit in a grown man's bed. Like, I don't.
Oh, dude.
There's levels of.
Oh man.
All right, so you got to really want to get a reaction out of somebody to shit in there. Like, you don't even want that person to be angry at you. You walk into your room and somebody shits in your bed. You're like, what the fuck is this? Like, like.
That's another level. That's
another level.
Yeah, that is a total another level. That's crazy.
I mean, and so if she's in Spain, get away from this shit.
Yeah.
She's going to be under fire for a little while longer because Johnny Depp is like, it's America's sweetheart. Yeah. Everyone loves Johnny Depp. And on top of the fact everyone loves Johnny Depp, is on record of how much this trial and this whole ordeal cost him. Pirates of the Caribbean thing coming up. He has a bunch of different potential opportunities with Disney. And even before there was a verdict, he was villainized with Disney and cost him millions of dollars. So if you just take that what she did out of the equation, what it did to him, is going to be hard to recover from that. I would go to fucking Mars if I could. Get off the planet.
Well, I mean, like that's like Pirates of the Caribbean is like that's like a not a cultural movie, but that was like a huge movie series and like for that to get taken away, I mean, it's probably pissed off a lot of people. So, do you think taking Amber Heard out of the movie is going to help or hurt or not change? Would it have mattered if they kept her in? I don't know. I don't know how to. It's been a while. Like things, people forget stuff really fast now.
Exactly. Yeah. Personally, I don't think. I take it back. Yeah, it would have hurt if they didn't at least address that. Okay, we know that this thing happened. We have a bunch of, the movie is complete at this point, and so we can't take her out, but we do understand and we will abbreviate her role in the movie. I think just doing that shows the audience that, hey, we're not idiots. We know what's going on, and we'll adjust accordingly as well as we can. So I do get that. Now, it might not even be an abbreviated role. It might just be saying that. The same role that she
That's
had.
A good point.
I feel like that it is, though, because you got to tell the story, right?
Yeah.
And, Amber Heard, Mira is in the movie. He has a baby. There was something done there. And so, have her in the movie. Cut it down, cut the screen time down, and I think it kind of appeases everyone.
Yeah. I wonder, did they really cut her out? Because when Flash, the dude that played Flash, he was like, I mean, he was doing all sorts of stupid shit, and they didn't cut him out, and they still released the movie, and that movie, it was so bad. But the series, the television series of The Flash, the kid that plays that, I think he does a great job. Yeah, he does a great job with that. And going back into the whole thing that you started with the DC thing, because I just finished watching Titans on HBO, and then also not Suicide Squad. Oh, I'm forgetting the other one. The one with Brendan Fraser played the robot. What's that?
God, why am I forgetting that?
Dang it.
Why am I drawing a blank?
But
not Creature Commandos.
No, it's Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol. And those two series were actually really good, and then The Flash was really good, and then you get this cinematic stuff. I'm just like, what? It's so disjointed, like you said earlier. I'm like, why? What happens? I don't know.
It is. I think with the Flash, so there was a huge push for Grant to go into that role when Ezra started doing all the stuff he was doing, alleged or whatever. I think it's proven at this point that he's guilty of that stuff. And I think DCEU just decided, we're just going to go ahead and put out the movie because this movie was supposed to reset everything.
Oh, that's right.
The Flash movie was supposed to reset everything and kind of help us segue into the DCU now and James Gunn's version of what's going to be happening. The problem with it, the movie sucked. And that's the problem. And
that's putting it mildly.
Yeah, and there were some aspects of the movie that I did like. I don't mind Ezra so much as the Flash.
Yeah.
Just his portrayal of the Flash. But that took some growing. Like, I am very used to Barry Allen, very confident, kind of like quintessential male to be in that role, you know, and from source material and from animated and from TV shows, and he's just not that in the movie. He's very novice, very just not confident, very insecure in his role of what becoming a superhero looks like, and I just don't think it ever truly vibed with the audience. It vibed with the audience when you couple that with Henry Cavill's Superman, Ben Affleck's Batman. Then he's able to hide amongst. And Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. He's able to hide amongst, and so he's a supporting player. He's playing more of a supporting role in the Justice League. You know, in those Justice League movies, if you had to pick the go-to to get some shit done, it wouldn't be him. No. You know? But in the Justice League, in comics and TV shows, Flash is a shit. Yeah. And so we didn't get that. And I think people kind of... it was really easy for him to get canceled when all the stuff came out, because genuinely people didn't like him in that role anyway. Yeah. And so it just made it easier for him. I mean, I guess all the stuff he did is not hard to hate. Just like somebody who does those things. But I do hope that if they do reintroduce a Flash character in the DCU Guns version, that it's more, it falls more in line with what the source material is, because Barry Allen is awesome. I mean, Barry Allen and Wally West, all the Flashes are, even Jay Garrick, those Flashes are awesome. Yeah. And, just do that. Like the source material is there. Yeah. And it's been proven that it can be put on the screen and be successful because the animated movies are great. Justice League War, Flashpoint Paradox, all those animated movies come out and people love them. Great. Yeah. Just live action that and you're good to go. Yeah. But, we'll see. We'll see with the Flash. With the Aquaman movie, because this is like DCEU's last shot. Yeah. And obviously with the strikes going on now, the actors aren't able to really push the movies. Mm-hmm. So the audience is going to have to depend on the trailers alone to, and figure out if they want to go see this movie. Since COVID, attendance has been down across the board, and people going to movies, with the exception of the big ones, the Oppenheimers, the Barbies, stuff like that. But this is going to be a huge test. I definitely don't think it's $1 billion movie. No, I don't think it is. We might get low sevens, maybe even mid sevens with it, 700 million. But I don't see it being $1 billion movie. Do you remember what the first one grossed? The first one, I don't remember what it grossed. I want to say that it did hit $1 billion though. Don't quote me, but I do think. But that was the time where we were eating, dude. Everything was big. Like, if there was a comic book movie coming out or some sort of comic movie coming out, it was doing north of $800-900 million. Yeah. Damn. I mean, you had Endgame, Infinity War. Even the Justice League didn't perform that badly, and that movie was terrible. Yeah. And then Zack Snyder's version, which is the different version of the same movie, over 3 hours long, and then that movie does well. Yeah. So, the audience is there. You just got to give them something to watch. You got to, again, this is the DCEU last chance, so I don't even know how much weight it's going to carry, because James Gunn is going to come and reboot everything. Yeah. And Jason Momoa, rumored that he's going to be going into the Lobo character. So I remember hearing that, and I thought it was squashed. I wasn't sure if that was still. I don't know. I keep hearing different things. I follow a couple different guys on YouTube about
Like there's, I can't remember his names, but they were talking about Jason Momoa playing Lobo. And I loved Lobo comic. Dude. I loved that comic book.
It's awesome, dude. And I think when you talk about casting, there's been some great casting in Hollywood. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Yep.
You can't cast anyone else. People say that Spider-Man is a great casting across the board.
Yeah.
Toby, Andrew,
yeah.
I think all of the Spider-Men have been really well cast. Andrew Garfield looked a little old at the time. But he had finesse. He had a little bit of swagger. Yeah. So it was cool. And then Jason Momoa as the Lobo. I think that casting is phenomenal.
So good.
As perfect. And he's a huge Lobo fan. He's versed in the comic books. He's always loved the character.
Yeah.
And it just fits.
Yeah.
And, he hasn't said it in so many words, but anytime you go and meet with James Gunn and leave it up to the audience what they think, and you don't change their opinion, hey, the audience saying you're gonna be Lobo. Is that true? Well, I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see it.
Yeah.
You might as well say you're gonna be Lobo.
Dude, there's videos of him on his old old Harleys that he gets on, and I'm just and he's in the dirt with his kid, and just he just it looks like he just embraces Lobo. He's just so raw and just, I don't know, just crazy. That it would be a great cast. Yeah,
he's definitely a dude I feel like I would want to grab a beer with.
Yeah, for sure.
And he seems like just a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah.
If you want to, I think that's why Aquaman went over so well, because when he was first cast, I was like, what the fuck is that? I was not convinced of the cast, and still not convinced with that casting. But he's kind of made it his own because people love him. He can be playing, he can play William Shakespeare and people will love him. He's the guy. He's the it guy in Hollywood now. But I'm looking forward to see what the movie does.
Yeah.
And right now at Sony is a money grab. I think it's I'm sorry, not Sony. Paramount, right?
Is it?
I think is a money grab at this point, because we know that the movie, the DCEU as it stands, is going to be going away. So we'll see.
Is it Paramount? We'll see. Well, yeah, but we're gonna. I'll have the link to the preview below, but also I'll insert it at some point. I'll put it in our little corner, so as we're talking about it, you'll see the preview at the same time. But yeah, I'm excited about it. It comes out, what is it, December
28th out?
December 28th.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Christmas movie. And, that might be another reason why it's going to do well in the box office. So.
Yeah.
Now, we touched on it at the top of the show. The whip of the week.
The whip of the week.
The whip of the week, y'all. And also, and going back to that, let us know what you think in the video, and what you think of the Aquaman, and what you think of him, Jason Momoa reprising the role. If you think it's going to hit, if you think it's not going to hit, if you think it's going to be a $1 billion movie, let us know. If you think it's going to be trash, let us know that.
Yeah.
The whip of the week. One of my favorite segments that we're gonna do. Again, I'm a huge car nut. I just bought a Rebel.
Yep.
Love that thing, man.
Yeah.
Love it. But before I got the Rebel, I was very interested in the 2024 Lexus GX550.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this car, there's been fanfare for this car, or this SUV, for the past 3 to 4 years. People know it was coming. They knew it was going to be a huge upgrade from the large SUVs that Lexus had been putting out. Generally, they feel kind of clunky, kind of like they're just like ripping the asphalt, from under you. They kind of stumble down the road a little bit. All the reviews for this vehicle says that that's not the case anymore.
Huh.
People are super excited about it. The 2024 Lexus GX550 is a beautiful car. First and foremost, it's a Lexus. Bells and whistles. They did a great job of keeping it bare bones, but giving you all the bells and whistles. There's only 8 exterior colors, but there's a bunch of interior color combinations interior combination you can go with. I mean, beautiful double stitching. You name it, it has it. Self-driving, self-parking, heated and cool grips for the steering wheels, for the seats, for the back seats, premium sound. I mean, you name it, it has it. When you think about a large SUV, this is from a luxury standpoint, this is what you think of. I mean, the thing is absolutely beautiful. Yeah. If you get a chance, go on YouTube or just go online and just look it up. And the car is gorgeous. I actually went I called Lexus before months and months ago and inquiring about it. And the sales manager at Lexus said, hey, we're taking deposits, but I need you to know that this car is in such high demand that you might not see this car in 2024. You might not even see it until mid-year 2025. We have Lexus RXs that haven't come out yet. So, it's kind of one of those things when you order a car and you get a new car and it's a high demand, just like the Sequoia was. Sequoia came out a few last year, and it started off at $67,000. Now they're upwards of $104,000 or $5,000 just because the appeal was so great and the demand just went through the roof. But back to the Lexus, they seem to fix the problem with the struggling down the road thing. They put a twin turbo V6 in it, all time 4-wheel drive, making 349 horsepower.
Jeez.
So it's going to be formidable.
Yeah.
They had three package breakdown. They have the premium, which is kind of like their base nice model. I love how cars don't want to say, all right, this is the base bullshit.
Yeah.
They don't want to say that. So this is the premium, and that starts around $65,000. Then they have the Premium Plus that has a couple more bells and whistles for right under $70,000, and then the Overtrail. The Overtrail is supposed to be able to, full independent suspension, walking over everything.
Really?
Road, yes, it's a monster. That is $73,000, and so then you have the Overtrail Plus, which is the creme de la creme. It has absolutely everything. And that's going to be going for about right under $80,000. Now, expect the prices to go up.
Yeah. Expect
them to go up. If you're buying a Sequoia for $100,000, there's no way you're going to be able to buy a Lexus 6 months in for $80,000. I would not be surprised if this thing gets upwards of $110,000, $115,000, maybe even close to $120,000.
Jeez.
And you talk about the new Cadillac coming out. That Cadillac Escalade that's going to be...
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, we're going to touch on that one.
Okay.
That thing's badass. When you talk about vehicles like that are in the class, but, when you talk about Cadillac, that's like grandpa of the dope shit.
Yeah.
And that car is selling for $120,000, $135,000, so... I can't imagine that this Lexus is not going to stay. The Overtrail Plus, especially, is not going to stay around that $80,000 mark. It's going to pop up a little bit.
So, which one were you going to put a deposit on?
On the GX550.
Which trim level?
So the Overtrail Plus, of course. Of course. And so if you're one of those, if the car market stays how it is, people are able to buy. Yeah. And pre-order these vehicles, wait a little while to get them for price, and then throw them right back on the market and make $20,000-$30,000 on them. So the Broncos came out; they were able to do that. Yep. So the Sequoias, obviously, we talked about that. So I think this is going to be a vehicle that in such high demand that this is going to kind of be the same thing. Yeah,
I got a deposit on my Tesla. Cybertruck.
So you did?
I put $100 on that. I did. I don't know if it's ever going to come out, but it's like
no, it'll it's been coming out for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
It will get it. We're going to get it next year.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll get it next year.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point to where I've been kind of reading about what the holdups have been, and it does look like we're going to get that Tesla. Now, how do you feel about driving an electric truck?
I don't know, because a buddy of mine has the Tesla SUV, and another friend of mine, and she has the the sedan, and I drove them, and the driving experience is completely different. Like just how you drive it. But B, the whole electric thing, I don't know. I'm still like just the one of Wendy's friends, she had a Tesla and she was out like I can't remember where she went. She went to a game for her kid and there's no charge ports. So it's like she ran out of juice and it's like it's not readily available to get your car charged. So I'm like, is it really practical? Now, on the flip side, I love the design. I love the idea behind it.
They're beautiful.
Oh, so I mean, I'm like big Mad Max fan, and like, I don't know, it's just different. I remember when I got so over the years we've had different cars and different price levels, but I remember when the CTS first came out. I love that thing. And everyone's like, it's so ugly. It's so ugly. I was like, that's so cool. It's got like, it's, I don't know, just the lines on it were awesome.
Beautiful cars.
Yeah, especially I think so.
The CTSV.
Oh, dude.
That thing is a monster.
Yeah. Cause that's got a, like a, 8-cylinder in there or 12-cylinder?
It's
a V12.
They have the V12. They
V12,
actually call it the Beamer Killer.
Yeah.
The Beamer Killer. That thing is badass.
Yeah.
It makes some ridiculous horsepower. I mean, I have to look it up because I want to misquote, but the horsepower is crazy. When I bought back in the day when I bought my SRT8, I pulled up beside a CTSV and this thing just crushed.
Yeah.
Crushed.
Yeah.
So
I like the idea of the design and everything. I don't know about the whole electric thing yet. That just because I heard that Ford is pulling back. They had like, I think, and this could be just a miswritten article, but they lost like $8 billion in the electric car industry. Just no one's buying. So I think they're redoing like a hybrid engine for, I can't remember which car was coming out. But then I have a Jeep now, the Gladiator, and like they know they were talking about an electric version of that, but people are just like, what? No, I mean, it's a Jeep, man. No, nobody's. You don't buy a Jeep because it's electric,
right? Yeah, and the Tesla, I've never driven one, but I understand like there's no brake pedal.
Nope.
So,
I mean, there's a brake,
so
but
kind of like it's like a golf cart. You take your foot off the pedal and it starts to decelerate.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Okay,
that's the learning curve where it's like you anticipate that there's going to be a roll, but there's no rolling. And if you let go of the gas pedal, like if you just completely let go, you feel like
really.
But my buddy's SUV that he has the what is it? The ludicrous speed mode in it, and dude. When he punched it, we were like, "Wow!" I mean, it throws you back. So there's like, if you like speed, I mean, there's nothing like it because it's instant.
Really? Yeah,
instant.
Like 0 to 60 in like 2.1 or 2.3 seconds.
Something ridiculous like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And the Roadster is supposed to be 0 to 60 in like 1.8 or 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Like you never expect it's really like a RC car.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. We were just watching an episode of Suits where Wendy and I are onto Suits right now on Netflix. And there was one of the episodes where he went into the car dealership and the dude bought the Tesla Roadster. And like he really wanted it. Anyway, I didn't even realize that there was a Roadster for it. But it was badass. It's right. It's a Tesla Roadster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, those things are cool as shit.
It's cool.
I mean, I love my gas guzzler. I mean, the thing is like,
dude, when you started it up yesterday or the other day, I was like, boy, you could hear it. Well, I'm like, you're like America.
I know, right? I was sold. So when I went to the dealership to get it, I actually went to look at the Sierra AT4, and that motherfucker's bad too.
Yeah,
like that thing is powerful. It's not as throaty as the Rebel, but has great get up and go, great power, has a bug out safe in the center console.
Oh.
Yeah, has a drop down on the tailgate that has a full kicker system in it.
Nice.
So, if you're tailgating or you partying on the beach, whatever. The thing was awesome, but like when you get in a Dodge, when you get in like a Mopar, like it's just something does something to you. And then the full panoramic roof, The interior is beautiful. Like the 11-inch screen in the center console. Head unit is beautiful. I mean, I was sold as soon as I drove it.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, and there's no bad choices between the two of those trucks.
No.
But I mean, the Rebel was just a monster.
Yeah.
Now I kind of want to get a TRX now.
Yeah.
The Raptor killer. So we'll see.
We'll see
what Jamie has to say about that.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Any social you want to plug? Tell people how to find you.
Yeah, if you're in the Hampton Roads area and you want to change your life by learning some dancing and going, whether it's salsa, bachata, merengue, or tango, waltzes, whatever it is, we focus on partner dancing. Check us out at cutterug.net or give us a call at 757-431-0177. And you got to tell us about what your projects are, because Antoine here has a bunch of them.
I got a bunch of them. Yes. You sound like a legitimate. You got a voice for radio for sure. You can find me Instagram, Train Like a Juggernaut on Instagram. Brit Fit Zone on, I guess, is it still Twitter, X, whatever it is? Yeah. On whatever social media platforms, and then Antoine Brett on Facebook. Also, you can follow Juggernaut Cookie Company. My company makes a giant gourmet cookie. We also make a gluten-free protein cookie,
which is amazing.
We make it with passion. They are very good, and I might be a little partial, but the rest of the world is not, and we get great reviews. So if you want to check it out, please visit cookiehunk.com. That's COOKIEHUNK.com. And if you feel so inclined to purchase, I have a promo code CookiePro20. We get you 20% off. So for myself and Taras, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week-ish with another episode of the Alpha Geek Podcast.
Yeah. Check you out next time.
Peace.
Peace.